Hi everyone, I'm here to do an astrological update because tonight we have a lunar eclipse. So first I want to talk about what is a lunar eclipse. It's actually a very potent full moon, and a lunar eclipse occurs when the moon moves into the Earth's penumbra or light shadow. So tonight, starting at 2:41 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be having a partial lunar eclipse, and it's going to be in the sign of Gemini because the moon is in Gemini, and right opposite to that the sun is in Sagittarius. So that's the other thing to note about eclipses, is that eclipses always occur when the sun and moon are in opposite signs, and they're 180 degrees away from each other. Okay, so astrologically speaking, what does this mean for us? So astrologically speaking, what this means for us is that we have the themes of communication as something really big that's coming up for us right now. Okay, so think about it like this. Think about all the people who are divided, not just politically, but the people who are divided just based on whether or not to wear masks, and think about how we talk to each other about such things. Think about all the disagreement about the lockdown measures and COVID and so on, and how we're communicating about it. Like the people on one side are like, oh, look at those crazy people putting on their masks, look at those crazy people complying like sheep and so on, blah blah blah. On the other hand, you have people going, oh, look at those arrogant and stubborn and selfish people just like running around without masks and running around doing their own thing, not caring or giving a damn about other people. Either way, what we're doing is separating ourselves, right? And we're looking at the other going, you should not do that. My way is the right way of doing things, right? So right there, it shows that we have a breakdown in communication and about empathizing with each other and about having compassion. Neptune is still in the sign of Pisces, which is its natural sign. And that shows us, that archetypal energy of Neptune shows us that the way to deal with the issues that we're having right now, the global crisis we're having right now, is to be united, is to stand together, is to understand with each other, is to really empathize with what the other is going through. So that's basically the solution to what we're facing as a global crisis, right? Now, the other part of this eclipse energy is that there is a Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto conjunct in the sign of Capricorn. Now, I've said this in my previous astrological updates. Saturn has been a theme of 2020. And when we look at this, the archetype of Saturn, we understand why that is and what that means for us. Because Saturn essentially is restriction, is constriction. It's the idea of karma. It's the idea of paying our dues. It's the idea of structure and authority figures and control and so on, which we can agree that that's been a theme of what we've experienced throughout this year, right? So karmically, we're paying our dues. Karmically, we're at a point where we're understanding that the old and established structures are no longer working. And this particular eclipse is the last round of that energy of control, of that energy of restriction, of constriction, which has taught us a lot, if nothing else, right? We've learned a lot of great lessons from it. But now it's time for us to let that go and to move into a new cycle, symbolized by Jupiter and Saturn moving into the sign of Aquarius and being in the same sign very close to each other, which is called a conjunction, on the winter solstice, no less. So 2020 is going to go out with a bang. There's a powerful punch in these eclipses. The eclipse tonight on November 30th, starting at 2:41 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the next eclipse, which is the final solar eclipse, as well as the final eclipse of the year, on December 14th, which is also going to be in the signs of Sagittarius and Gemini. Now, I do want to mention that these eclipses are closing out cycles, because eclipses are about endings and beginnings. But the way that they lead us into a new beginning is through an ending. and the way that we understand how and why things need to end is by looking at all the different aspects of the issue at hand, right? So there's a lot of darkness involved because remember, the moon is going into a shadow of the earth, right? So we can't really see the moon. So the light of the moon, even though it's a full moon, is hidden. The moon symbolizes our intuition. The moon symbolizes our feminine side. So when that's hidden, there's like this energy that's coming up that's showing us and asking us to look at our shadows. It's asking to look at things that we don't normally look at, and that's a theme of what comes up during eclipses. The other theme of what comes up during eclipses is they align us to our fates, and they happen to change our current course of plans, you know, which usually feels disruptive to us. And definitely this particular eclipse has the energy of tension that we've been feeling throughout the whole year. But the important thing to remember is that even though this tension is there, it's there for a reason. It's there to teach us something. It's there to kind of bring out the diamond in the rough, so to speak, right? So there you have it. There you have all the different kind of elements that we're working with this particular lunar eclipse. Now, I don't think that this astrological update would be complete without talking a little bit about the solar eclipse on December 14th, because a few days after that eclipse is when we finish the Saturnian cycle and we enter into a time during which the Saturnian influence is pulling back and the Uranus influence through the sign of Aquarius is coming in. And Aquarius is kind of like the opposite of Capricorn in terms of outlook, in terms of perspective. And Saturn, Uranus is kind of the opposite of Saturn, which is like Saturn is old established structures and Uranus is like rebel energy, the disruptor, and kind of like bringing in this new vibration, right? So on December 14th, when we have this final eclipse, that's really kind of going to open us up to this energetic new beginning, right? So 2021 is going to be an exciting year. I know we're not done with 2020 for sure, and there's still that punch coming, but that punch is coming for a good reason, and it's coming to teach us something, you know? And I do want to mention that eclipses don't always feel very personal, even though we feel it on a collective level. Different people are going to feel it differently in their charts depending on where it falls in your personal birth chart, right? So only if you have important and aspected planets in Gemini and Sagittarius will you be feeling it really strongly. And it has to be in degrees of 8 degrees to 14 degrees of Sagittarius or Gemini for this particular eclipse, right? So of course, in order to find out more about that, you would need to consult a professional astrologer like myself. And if not, just check your own chart if you're used to doing that and look for planets within 8 to 14 degrees of Gemini or Aquarius, and then you can read about what that particular aspect can mean for you if it's touched by the eclipse, right? Okay, so it's very obvious that we're dealing with strong transformative energies, right? That's what 2020 has been all about, transformation. The only choice we have is how do we use this energy of transformation? Now remember that Gemini is also the sign that the North Node is in right now. And the North Node symbolically and archetypally is our purpose. So this eclipse and the eclipse in December is really here to push us forward into what is our next step? Where are we going next? And I think that that's definitely something that as a collective we're questioning, and we're also questioning it on a personal level. Where am I going? What am I here to do? What is my next step? And I'm here to tell you that I am here for you to support you in that process of transformation. And as a reminder, I do have one more day to go for my Black Friday sale on my distant healing sessions. If you're watching this on Instagram, please be sure to check it out by clicking on the link in my bio. And if you're watching this on Facebook, the link is going to be in the comment section. So I'm offering this because I believe that this time of change, this time of the unknown, this time of going into something new is a time that you can use for your best and highest personal growth and development. and I'm here to support you for that. I would be so honored if I'm able to do that. So be sure again to check the link in my bio or check the link in the comments section. So if you have any questions regarding the eclipse, if you have any questions regarding what I just spoke about, or you have any questions about my work in general, please feel free to DM me, feel free to write in the comment section, shoot me an email, all of the above, because I do love to hear from you and I'll be so happy to answer your questions. All right, I look forward to hearing from you. Have a nice night. Bye-bye.